Set up StrongVPN OpenVPN on Linux via command lines. This page describes the command line setup of OpenVPN connection type on various most popular Linux distributions. If you don't see your Linux distribution here, the easiest solution is to check which package system it uses. Deb-based distros setup will be similar to Debian, RPM-based distros will set up similar to CentOS. If your distro is none of above, then you would want to search the specific instructions for it on your own. Also, OpenVPN is strongly recommended for Linux since the support of open source technologies, which OpenVPN is, on Linux is much better than proprietary technologies such as PPTP. Step 1. First you need to install the Open package on your Linux system. Some of them may have it pre-installed, like Fedora version 22 or OpenSUSE Leap 42.1. On Debian, Ubuntu and Linux Mint use, $sudo apt-get y-install open here and below. The $sign means that the command is run by regular user, not root, and that sign is not included in actual command text. So the command you need to type is sudo apt-get y-install open, without quotes. Also, the word sudo means that the command after it should be executed with root privileges. It may ask your user password, you need to type it. During this process, you will not see anything show up after word password as you type. This is intentional and is there so that someone else looking at your display cannot guess your password by the number of characters. Again, for sudo you need to provide your user password, not root password. If you have errors with sudo command, that means sudo package is either not installed or configured. For example, it is installed and configured out of the box on Ubuntu, installed but not configured on Fedora and not installed at all on Debian. In this case just switch user to root using su command, type su, hit enter and then provide your root password. After that use all the same commands from this tutorial, but without sudo in the beginning, e.g. apt-get y-install open instead of sudo apt-get y-install open. Of course apt-get and yum commands will only work if the repositories are correctly configured, they usually are by default. If not you can refer these instructions for apt and yum, unfortunately this is too far from the scope of this tutorial. On CentOS, Fedora, and OpenSUSE use, $sudo yum y-install open. On CentOS you may need to install EPEL repository firstly, $sudo yum y-install EPEL release step 2. After that you need to download the config file. If you have GUI, graphic user interface, basically if you see mouse cursor and can open the web browser, you can directly download it from the customer area. Check this tutorial to see how. If you only have command line, if working on remote server via SSH for example, you need to download it on another computer and then transfer to the server. For example using SCP. Let us assume you have downloaded your config file now. Step 3. Now you need to move the config file to the OpenVPN configuration folder. $sudo mvvpn xxx_open_account.open/etc/open/strong.conf. In this case vpn xxx_open_account.open is just an example. Your config file will have its own name such as vpn sf14_open088_account.open. And you may also need to include the path to the file before its name. For example, if the file was downloaded from the browser, it is usually placed in the downloads folder inside your home folder. So the path for vpn sf14_open088_account.open file in the downloads folder will be /download/vpn sf14_open088_account.open and the command will look like mv/download/vpn sf14_open088_account.open/etc/open/strong.conf. Here are the tutorials to learn about absolute and relative paths in Linux systems. Step 4. If you are using our new OpenVPN servers, basically if your config file name starts with str letters, you will also need to set up the login and password authentication, otherwise VPN will not connect. Check the saving the login and password for the OpenVPN on Linux command line setup section in the appendix of this tutorial. If your config file name starts with VPN letters, just continue to the next step. Step 5. Now you can connect and disconnect the OpenVPN. On Debian, Ubuntu and Linux Mint use, $sudo service open start to disconnect use, $sudo service open stop. Please note, if you leave the configuration like this on Debian, Ubuntu and Linux Mint, the VPN will start and connect automatically on the system startup. If you don't need this behavior and want to start it manually every time you need it, you need to remove the service startup links. Use this command, $sudo update rc.d. fopen disable on CentOS, Fedora, and OpenSUSE, $sudo systemple start open at strong.service. If you have Selinux enabled, you also need to run this command before the service start, $sudo restore /etc/open/strong.conf to disconnect use, $sudo systemple stop open at strong.service. Connecting on the system startup, you may often need to have OpenVPN always connected on Linux system and reconnect on reboot, because Linux often used as server platforms. To accomplish this in Debian, Ubuntu and Linux Mint you need to check the step 5 above. For CentOS, Fedora, and OpenSUSE use, $sudo systemple enable open at strong.service. Saving the login and password for the OpenVPN on Linux command line setup, we will assume that your VPN configuration file is stored in the /etc/open folder under the name strong.conf. 1. Run the command, $nano/etc/open/auth.txt. This will create a text file in the config folder and open it with nano editor. The second line should be your password. 3. To save the file you need to press Ctrl+X key combination, then Y key and then enter. Now you are back to the command line. 4. Now you need to edit the config file, $nano/etc/open/strong.conf5. Change the line from auth user pass to auth user pass/etc/open/auth.text. Without quotes. 6. Again, to save the file you need to press Ctrl+X, then Y, and then enter. Now OpenVPN will not ask for username and password on connection. Troubleshooting. The key thing for OpenVPN troubleshooting is finding its log. For example, if you start the OpenVPN, but IP address on computer didn't change, you need to check what you have in the log. To get logs on Debian, Ubuntu and Linux Mint use $sudo grep open/var/log/syslog for CentOS, Fedora, and OpenSUSE use $sudo systemcall status l open@net strong.service. If you see initialization sequence completed as the last line, the VPN should be connected fine. If you see anything else, for example open package on Fedora 22 has this bug resulting with this in the log when running OpenVPN with disabled encryption, assertion failed at crypto_openstl.c523. Exiting due to fatal error. You can either put the error text in Google and try to fix it by yourself, or you can just provide the full log text to us and we'll try to help.